I interviewed my roommate and friend, Holly Lingren. Holly was born and raised in Ankara, Turkey, and she went to an international school. Something that I realized while I was interviewing Holly was that there's a big difference between how she was taught in school and how I was taught in school. The difference arose from the fact that her school was an international school and mine wasn't. And the difference arose in that all the students at the school came from different countries. So the difference was that here in the United States, a teacher could assume that most of her students come from around the same neighborhood, they live in the same state, they are from the United States, and that they all speak English. At her school, her teachers couldn't assume that they all came from the same country, that they all even spoke English, or that they were raised in the same neighborhood. Because of this, the teachers had to structure and adapt their courses to the students so that they could meet all of their needs. Because there was so much change in the schools with different students coming in and different ones leaving, the curriculum couldn't stay the same, and the teachers had to adapt their classes to their students to be able to meet their needs. Whereas here in the United States, a teacher can put together a full curriculum and use that same curriculum year after year. Yes, they may adapt it from time to time, but it will stay relatively the same. Whereas at her school, they had to make changes as they went along, as they got new students from different countries who maybe had different levels of English learning skills or any other areas of school. Something that I took away from the interview was that if I'm going to be a teacher, I should never assume that all my students come from the same cultural background, the same country, or that they're at the same level of learning. I should invest in them, learn what their strengths are, where they come from, how they learn better, so that I can formulate a class to suit each and every one of their needs so that they can learn better. The second thing I learned was that you should build relationships with your students. Holly's teachers were very invested and persistent in learning about each and every one of their students. Holly told me that her teachers were very invested in her life and she got to know them on a very personal level. She even spent a summer with one of her teachers and has been to several one of their weddings. This shows how much the teachers were interested in their students' lives and how much they came to know them. Here in the United States, there is a teacher-student relationship, but it never really goes beyond the classroom. And the second thing I learned is that you should really get to know your students on a personal level and invest in each and every one of their lives.